Hello everybody, welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. We are actually in hell, so that worked on a multiple of levels. We're back today. Of course, I'm a D&D sex icon. You guys know that already, as does everyone. We're back for another episode of the Trials of Bhaal. So let's go, as Chelsea's already said, balls to the wall. But let's go into casting career. Let's figure out who we are and who we're playing today. Chelsea, how you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I'm on that like 4th of July, like 3-day holiday, which has been pretty killer. And yeah, I'm here with some new inspiration this week based on one of my favorite short stories. And yeah, we're gonna die over and over and over again.
You say we, but you mean us.
Correct. It helps lighten the load, I feel like, if I include myself. It makes you come out so isolated.
Right. Feels like you have a friend in the world. It's,
yeah. It's cool. I'm on your side.
Yeah.
Right.
The DM is never against you guys. Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to kill you.
Well, we also have back of us tonight Mr. Chris Pangalactic. How's it going, Chris?
Hey, how you doing? I'm good. It's far too hot in England, so let's go to hell and die lots. I can't wait.
Stuff. Who are you going to be playing tonight?
Oh shit, yeah. I'm playing Darak, the Dwarven Cleric, still in his dress, still pregnant. He likes hitting things and putting children in bags.
That is a very accurate summary of what Darak is and does. Great stuff. We also have Aspire to write with us tonight. Yeah, nailed it. How you doing, Aspire?
I am doing great. Well, thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Talk to us about your character tonight.
So tonight I am playing Casey Wren. She is the human bard, and basically ready to die all over again, considering the last time she was alive she died in Chult, so here we go again.
Great stuff, amazing. We also have Gen the Eye back with us tonight. How's it going, my friend?
Hello, I am really stoked to have my second play with you guys, and it's always a pleasure. And I'll be playing a halfling bard called Serafina.
Awesome, great stuff. Thank you.
And I'm not gonna say anything more about her because I intend to repeat her. So we'll see how it goes.
Great stuff. Great stuff. And of course we have Dibs back with us tonight. How's it going, Dibs?
I'm pretty good. Very happy to be back. I had an awesome time last time, and I'm completely ready to submit another character to, well, the horrors that Chelsea can come up with. I will be playing Droplet. He's a Kenku thief who became a warlock in an attempt to try and figure out how to get his wings back, except that didn't quite work out for him as he got tricked into flying too high and then dramatically falling to his death.
Great stuff. Amazing. As myself, I, of course, will be playing Finbar, the Bard. The most famous bard in all of Bhaal's realms. Possibly because there's only a few of us down here. But also Bhaal's favorite. So, there's that. Finbar is incredibly... No, it is. Favorites can mean many things.
That's how he deals with the torture.
Right, everything is opposite down here. It's like opposite day all of the time. You wouldn't understand. Finbar's incredibly beautiful on the outside, but incredibly ugly on the inside. So he's very vacuous and selfish and self-indulgent and self-centered. But nonetheless, he's with his companion, not friend, really, Darak. Friend would be a strong word. And sometimes with Ari as well, who may or may not be carrying his child. He's pretty relieved that he thinks she's not. So there's that. Before we get into today's game, I'll remind you guys, of course, we're sponsored here by Fancy Grounds. Go to fancygrounds.com. Steam Top sales over, but that doesn't matter because you can still get Fancy Grounds and try it out for free at fancygrounds.com. So go over there. All the rolls or tokens and maps today are using Fantasy Grounds. And of course, whalengames.co.uk, our miniature line of choice, where you can buy D&D books, RPG books, products, your own minis for up to 20% off the retail value of all of those. So definitely go and check them out. Of course, you guys can interact with today's game if you haven't followed yet. Hit the follow button and join us. Also, here is a tweet for you guys, 20 retweets and another viewer decision where you guys get to screw with the party in horrible ways that often involve babies. Also, here is the button to donate underneath this panel as well. You can see all the donation options. You can give players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and worse. But I will hand over to Chelsea, our Dungeon Master for tonight, to remind us what happened last week and to take us into this episode of the Trials of Bhaal.
Yes, so for those of you that may be new to the Trials of Bhaal, this is a particular setting in that we are actually part of Bhaal's dominion, a small multi-dimension he's created to torture and murder the souls of lost adventurers who died in the mortal realm. So over the last few episodes, we've caused some shenanigans to happen, and I say we, and by we I mean them, as they have in fact killed Bhaal. They broke him into pieces. They split apart his id, his ego, and his super ego, along with the last of his mortal memories. And last episode, they were visited by three strangely pale figures, elven, that rescued them from the clutches of one of Bhaal's torture nurses, and decided to inform them that because they messed up Bhaal, the realm in which they are existing is crumbling. The key factor that was holding it together is now gone, and they are trying to put Bhaal back together if there's any hope of everybody escaping this dimension. So last week, they actually went in search of the super ego in a very strange location filled with honeycombs and floors full of sticky yellow honey, and had to fight the queen bee to get what we now know is a sword of some kind that represents Bhaal's super ego. At the very last second, as we were completing the mission, all is well, we are finally going to win, a giant bear paw, thanks to the audience, bursts through the side of the honeycomb, ripping all of our adventurers free, and he licks his paw as they slide down the gullet. And we are actually going to pick up there with with Derek and Finbar stuck to the esophagus of this bear as they ride down the honey slide. As you do, something strange below you begins to shine light as if they've cut through the esophagus of the bear, and two very pale limbs reach in and grab Derek by the foot and Finbar by the foot and rip you free. And it is in fact these pale elven figures that you had met once before. And they kind of cling to the bear, the chest of this bear, and hold you, and they look at the both of you as you gasp for air free of the honey, and they say, "What did we tell you about dying?"
I honestly don't remember.
Well, no wonder. They go, "Yes, since you had to destroy Bhaal, there's nobody to bring you back." And one of them, like,
dead to you?
I was about to say, you're held up by the one with the cornrows, and she kind of sneers at you with her jagged teeth. The male figure that has the long white hair snaps his fingers, and you guys are again on solid ground in some kind of alternate location. They drop you, the honey still kind of clinging to you, and they toss you to the ground. Did you get it? Super ego.
Oh, the super ego, or did we get the massive ego?
I think it was the supermassive ego.
The supermassive black hole.
Yes, yes, that one. That one. Did you get it? And she looks around and she says, "What is that in your head?"
No, I do have a new song related to that, actually. So if Bhaal wants to hear it,
Bhaal can't hear it. He is technically, in all actual reality, dead. And but that sword.
I'm not living in an actual reality. Yeah, I think you misunderstand. Now
he's living in a material world.
Right.
He's a material world.
Thank you. He knows the song. Do you need something from us still? Is there something else we need to do?
The three of them stare down at you. Yes. We need his super ego. And she looks at Derek and yes, see? I knew you got it. Where is it? And she points at Derek. That's it, isn't it? That sword. That's it.
I mean, I didn't think Bhaal was renowned for having a sharp wit. I don't think this is his super ego. This is just a
You might be
sword.
overcompensating for something, though.
One of them is going to try to snatch it from you. You're welcome to avoid it if you'd like by making a dex.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, Dex. First roll tonight. I'm at disadvantage on Dex.
Oh, are you?
Oh, no.
Roll that damn disadvantage. Yes! Okay, my turn. Yes! Oh, man, I wanted that. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, let me just roll to make sure I don't do any worse.
Oh, how
God.
tables.
I'm not. This very dexterous. He's actually a gloom weaver. He's the gentleman with the staff and spear, and he reaches out and snatches it right from your hand, and he holds it up and smells the length of the blade. He says, "Yes, this is it." The two women say, "Good, good," and they say, "Bring him in." Into this small room you're kind of in, undefined in terms of maybe where, just kind of stone walls, pretty normal. They usher in 3 people, if you would. It looks like there's a kinku, a halfling, and a human. And they usher them in, bags over their head, toss you down and say, "Here are 3 new ones. You have a new task. Bhaal's id is floating out there somewhere, trapped in the last of his mortal memories. You are to retrieve it and bring it here."
I blame you for this, Fimbar.
I blame you a lot for this.
That's fair. We both blame you.
But let's misdirect that anger and let's redirect it onto these 3 newcomers.
Yes, I like that idea.
Instead. And let's just keep this toxic relationship we have going by just deflecting everything onto them. So,
I approve this. I always said you were smart, Fimbar.
It's college all over again.
this is every one of my relationships. So, we appear to have a fellow bard, perhaps. Greetings, I am Fimbar the Bard. You probably have heard my latest song, Supermassive Black Hole Ego.
No, I can't say I have.
Oh, are you talking to me or are you talking to someone else? I'm sorry.
Oh, God, there's 2 of you.
I'm feeling a bit really lost here.
All right,
Yeah, so
I'm fine
they-
with one other bard, but one of you is going to have to retire.
So the one of the elves walks over and rips the bags from each of your heads, so you can see this very charismatic voice in which you are speaking with. And as they do so, that's when Finbar realizes there's not 1, but 2 bards behind door number 1.
This is too much.
Wow!
Someone here is going to have to
This is
retire.
amazing!
It's not going
And
to
we
be.
have one already.
Yeah,
I have a bard.
kind of
Repeating
doing
the
that.
ego
Sorry,
in Finbar's voice, but
But I
slowly.
believe I died first.
Died first.
Well, I like
That's not
this.
how
I
this
like
works.
this.
You know, it's
No,
not
no,
if you
let them
died
do
first.
this. I like this.
Okay, let them fight amongst themselves. Good idea.
Yeah, I like it. Minions, entertain me.
Yes.
I don't
You know
feel like
what?
entertaining you right now until I get some names.
What kind of names would you
Just
want?
get
I
out
have
in between.
male
Okay,
names,
I have-
like
I-
get
names,
away
so
from
I-
them.
Dragon Ball names.
So I
As this
have
chaos
around
is ensuing,
5
one of
names,
them
alright?
goes, "Stop talking!" She gets very vicious with you, and she says,
I was about to
"You
say that.
have lost the point, right?" And she says, "Each
I
of
have,
you are here
entirely.
for a reason." And she looks at the 3 of them and says, "Each of you are now dead. Did you know that? Died.
Oh,
Great.
I like this.
I actually
Wonderful.
knew. I died twice before just to get
I knew
here.
that.
Well, congratulations. You have
That's
made it to Bhaal's
insane.
Dominion. Unfortunately, these 2, and she points to Derek and Finbar, have ruined the fun for everyone.
Oh no.
I technically wasn't there that week.
They
so
are the fun suckers.
I
They have sucked
Why?
Bhaal's
Why?
fun away.
have never sucked Bhaal or his Bhaal.
I have so much.
Exactly how
I have so much to
wonderful.
talk about him.
I am not a Bhaal sucker.
Are you sure?
Ball sucker.
Because you were ugly for a bit, and then you got pretty again, and I always wondered what you had to do to make that
I
happen.
did a bit look like a Bhaal bag for a while.
You did.
Or
Let's
Rinkley.
not go there now.
No, let's do that later. Yes, Finbar the Bard. Darak, my friend. Well,
Hello.
Oh.
The male
Sorry.
pale elf in the room seethes. Now that formalities are out of the way. And he goes over to the wall. He spins and looks at you.
Mister,
Yes.
I haven't even said one of my names, and I have 5 of them. Can I say at least one of them?
say half of one.
Or no? Half of one. Okay, I have a nickname as well.
No.
Oh my god.
Can I? Okay. If you don't say anything, I will say anyway. So my name is. Okay. So half it's
Can I
like a nickname.
interject?
Yeah,
Like a
yeah,
nickname?
drop like
At this
So-
point, I just repeat Ballsucker in Finbar's voice, suggesting that I should new name.
So my
I
name.
like that.
So my name is Sarah, and I am a
Sarah.
historian, and I died twice just to be here, and I made a pact
Okay.
with the demon who led me here, apparently.
Mhm.
However, I died once, and then he
Okay.
sent me to some place called Ravenloft. Very amazing, very amazing,
Can I ask you a
very-
question about that?
very amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Oh,
Is your middle
me?
name Overshare?
Good question.
I think it's a
my
valid
name-
question.
the male goes, once
Such not-
again, I do not understand why your name is important when you have a mission that I am sending you on. And he says, any of your
Right.
names. And he says, you have a single goal. Retrieve the id from Bhaal's mortal memory. It is ancient,
So with the voice-
hundreds of years old. And all you have to do is play the part. Unfortunately, the memory is crumbling. It is not what it once was, so it is
Crumbly
volatile,
memory.
on a loop, as you might say.
I wouldn't. But okay.
Do all elves think that ancient means 100 years?
Yes.
I know that I talk too much. Can I say something else? Can I ask something else, Mister? If we do this, will he be back live on his own terms, and his realm will be new again, and I can finally note down everything I learned about it, and then hopefully I'm gonna go back to my library and study all over again. That's
So to be
why
clear,
I'm here.
you are literally insane. And you've now let us all know this. You're crazy.
I do like to know that up front, though.
The
That is good to know.
silent one, the elf that has
Always
kind of been very,
librarians.
very quiet. She's the bald one that seems maybe to be in charge. She walks over and runs her finger down the side of Sarah, as you've introduced yourself, or Safina's face, and says, "You may talk a lot, but you are wise. You're right. By collecting all his pieces, we plan to resurrect him. Bring him back stronger than before to this place, so that his minions," and she points to Derek, "can in fact birth his children. From their death brings new life, and thus Bhaal will once again get to walk the mortal realm. It is our only interest. Whether or not you
All
get
right.
to meet him is secondary."
I tell you
That's
what,
more.
my friend.
That's more than I hoped for, but I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be worthwhile.
No, you're entirely wrong. This won't be fun at all. This is the opposite of fun. This is not fun. But hear me out. How about all of us go on this little thing for you, scary people? But where do we go? Which way is it? Because I have a terrible sense of direction.
That's a good question. I'm
The
glad you
male
asked
one
it.
says, "Now that you have gotten your questions out, I shall show you." And he walks over and slices his hand open and runs it down the brick wall and draws what can only be described as a very a poorly done skull, really, with handprints around it, and it's definitely the symbol of Bhaal. The other two come over and grab his hands, and they chant some incantations, and it basically pops the symbol out of the wall, and it dissipates into a portal. And they say, "This is it. Walk through, and you are trapped in his memory until you can find the id. If you do not, you remain there. You have no way of releasing you, and if you die, we cannot bring you back. Your soul will simply go to the vat with everyone else's."
This does sound like a terrible deal. I'm not gonna lie.
It does. I
Oh, it's
actually
not-
agree with the dwarf.
It's actually not a deal.
Oh,
Right.
oh.
That's. Think of these.
Can I have my
is
soul
that
back,
then?
please?
She snaps her fingers, and kind of your array of weaponry and things come back on you if you guys don't have them. And the quiet leader with the bald head says, "Have fun. This is Bhaal's most diminished memory." And they step back and kind of dissipate into the shadows, and the portal remains open.
I'll go through the portal.
What was your name again, Kenku?
So I'm mimic as a droplet hitting water.
Wait, can I do it? Oh, I bet I can't.
I can't.
All
I
right.
used to be able to do it, but I can't anymore.
All right, Bloop. You're all right.
Can we
what about
close
you?
the
I
leash?
aggravate a man's voice and say droplet.
Droplet. All right. Boop Droplet. In that case, you can come with us and try not to die. And then I look towards Casey and say, "And what was your name?"
The name is Casey Rin. Do you remember it? And I'll walk through the portal.
Oh, so much sass!
Sassy.
Damn. I like
Just
that.
very reluctantly follow.
She, I'm not. I mean, I promised that I wouldn't talk too much, but she sounds like an ex. Is she or not? Of you?
Could be, honestly. I'll have to ask her. I make a point not to remember anyone that I've slept with, on principle. So,
A personal moral value.
it's just part of who I am. It's a life choice, really. It's a way of life, more so than anything else. Let's get through this portal.
Okay,
Great.
so
Does
I
everybody walk
imagine.
through?
Yeah, but I imagine that I still have a case of around around 5 to 10 pieces of paper. And just before I enter, I took one and have my and have my quill and my ink, and I go forward because I just want to have the very first impression of the place, you know.
Oh, okay, so you're like ready to sketch
Yeah.
it out? Is that what you're planning on doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the time.
Yeah, you pull it out and you
I still do that all the time.
Yeah, great. So you pull it out, you've got your like pad open, and you step right through the portal. Bloop, droplet, bloop, or bloop droplet, whatever we're calling you. Did you go through as well, following Finbar?
Yeah, very, very reluctantly.
Yeah.
I'm really not happy about where I am right now.
Yeah, you guys kind of look around, and you pass through the portal with ease. There's no friction or anything. It's almost chilling and cool to the touch as you pass through, and you open your eyes to the blinding light of the sun, trying to adjust. And it seems that you're standing in a line with a lot of other people. There's like 20 or 30 people in front of you. And why don't you all roll a perception for me? Actually, you can also just tell me what your passive perception is, but if you want to roll to see extra stuff.
Let's roll. I'm gonna roll.
I was about to say, throw some dice around.
Definitely roll.
That's worse than my passive. That's a 7.
Yeah, that's also worse than my passive. That's 10. I've got 14 passive.
Oh,
All right.
That was half my passive.
Let's see.
All right. So, Seraphina, you notice almost instantly as you come through, you're still holding this paper and quill that you were going to sketch with, but your hands are way different. The full-size sheet of paper now looks much smaller in your arms, as if maybe you're human? Yeah, the same thing. Casey notices the same thing. You're kind of old, and you hunch, and you look around, and you feel like yourself mentally, and in all the ways on the inside, I guess, of the body, but your exterior seems to be taking on the form of somebody new, an old woman. Seraphina, yours is a lady, a peasant-style woman in a very simple dress. She smells of a kitchen and a hot fire. And you're in her, like, clothing. The same thing for the other three of you, though it takes you a little bit longer to notice. It's not until you look down at your feet that you realize those aren't your feet. Finbar, you are not in Finbar's body.
Oh my god, those are not my feet. I know, I can see my feet from 50 yards, and those are not mine.
I know that those are not my sexy feet. And the same thing, Droplet and Derek. Your pregnancy? You're still pregnant, Derek, but you're a woman this time. You're a very, very pregnant woman. Who's ready to, like,
that makes much more sense. That explains everything.
This explains nothing.
And Droplet, you're no longer a Kenku. You have taken on the form of kind of a middle-aged man, balding, bad facial hair, patchy. They all seem very worn, all of you. And you look around and see that you're standing in line with the other 4 people. And in front of you is about 20 people, and behind you the line goes down to about 100 or so folk. And they seem to be heading towards a gentleman with a hat. Everybody's pulling a piece of paper from the hat.
So my initial response is just going to be shriek in absolute terror because, well, my feathers are gone. Like, how am I ever going to fly with these? And I literally fall over, crawling backwards away from, well, my body, essentially.
Yeah, oh, you're trying to, like, get away. Another gentleman, much kind of beefier and very sure of himself, reaches down to Kamyu and says, Sir, relax. It's just the lottery. Take your place in line or you'll miss your chance to grab your slip of paper.
Oh, the lottery. I love the lottery.
Somebody
so do I still have to mimic people, or can I actually speak now?
Why don't you give it... I was about to say, why don't you give it a shot?
So, okay, well, I'll just try to mimic the man and put, like, in a more... Well, actually, I can only mimic him. Just try to mimic him in saying lottery.
Yeah, he goes, yes, the lottery. And it does seem that your Kinku nature of, like, only being able to repeat languages has carried over, that everything mentally that once was is still there. It's just your physical form, the vessel in which you've overtaken. And he says, yes, correct, sir, the lottery. Here, let me help you up. And he kind of helps you to your feet and slots you back in line, which shuffles forward a couple people. You guys are getting closer to drawing your slip of paper.
Well, I'm definitely going to draw mine.
This is still Bhaal's realm, isn't it? His memories?
Oh, this is definitely Bhaal Town. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I can show you around it.
We have been bald, truly.
Then
I have
why
showed many people around Bhaal's Town before.
Why should we be excited about the lottery, then?
Oh, it won't be good.
No, not a good lottery. Probably a bad lottery.
It won't be a good one.
But whenever is the lottery ever good, you know?
This is definitely what I was not hoping for. I feel different.
A woman right in front of you turns around and says, the lottery is always something to be excited about. It's how we make sure that our crops come in anew.
It is. I'm so excited about it. But I still
do remind.
Why don't I still feel confident about it then?
She says, well, it's not my place to say anymore. I'm sure the town governor will speak to the whole thing. He always makes a ravishing speech beforehand. She says, but I did hear you mention Bhaal, that troubled child. He and his mother at the back of the line.
Where are they? I've got a birthday present for him.
Oh, dear. She said, crop, ravishing, good, town crime. All bad.
They're the best kind of crops. Best kind of crops.
I'm not down.
I'm a dwarf. I know these. I was a dwarf. I know these things.
I don't think you have anything to worry about, Finbar.
You're right. I am incredible.
Is
I'm
Finbar
not
Not
sure.
what my meaning was, but sure.
If you're worried, then don't worry. I will protect you.
You
Did
protect
Finbar
me.
human?
If you want.
I laugh a
So,
lot.
as
Very hard.
you
I am very funny.
as you guys are saying this, you see me, and you have noticed before probably, but now you see actually she's doing that. She has a flute, which is attached on her neck, like this. No, and then she definitely. I think for the first time, she definitely felt a bit disappointed, like complete disappointed in life. And then she had this flute, and then she's gonna play some very sad music, but it's still heading in line for this paper.
Okay, great.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
hate bards.
I was about to say,
I'm
you
gonna
pull
be
your
time
flute
ball.
out.
They roll worse than me.
Oh, you want to go to the back of the line?
Baby ball. Yeah.
All right, so
Cheap
I was
cover.
about to
I'll
say-
go with him.
you guys all want to go to the. Do you all want to go, or do you want to hold the rest of you want to hold your place in line?
You wait here.
Can I like look around and see anything that would explain what this lottery is about, like banners or something?
That's a really good question. Why don't you roll me another perception now that you're looking at the larger scale of where you're at?
All right, I have a +4, so that's 14.
Out of 14, you kind of peer around the line, and on the far side of the gentleman, you can see that it's leading into this very small village's kind of center or square of the town, the center area of the town. It's strange because the children are not in line. They seem to be running about and collecting stones from around different areas, and they're making a pile in the center of the square. Just in front of a small, I wouldn't even call it a stage really, just like a platform that has a makeshift podium out of a barrel on it.
I don't think I like where this is going.
No, I
All
don't
right.
either.
So you guys
I
see,
do stay in line.
yeah, okay, so Droplet stays in line. Yeah, what would you like to do, Serafina?
So I'm really okay. So I know that I'm completely different round from what I expecting, and however she has read a lot, so she knows loads of history. So if you allow me to do a history check,
Yeah,
to make
roll a
sense
history.
of whatever is going. So she has a +8 in history, right?
All right, so give us a roll. Let's see how you do to try to piece some things together.
No, have I did? No.
Make sure if you roll the dice, you got it. Yeah, there you go. So that's a
Okay.
D10. I need you to roll a D20.
Oh, sorry about that.
There you go.
That's a D.
Yeah,
That's a D10
Not
again,
very good.
or D12. I'm sorry. Make sure you're
Just
grabbing the
Well, where is
D20.
my? I think I remember an option to actually reset the dice.
Yeah.
Right?
So right click on Roll20, and the wheel or the spectrum will pop up. The one that says arrange dice, and it'll click your dice to the bottom. See if that doesn't work, and then your D20 should appear. There you go. Woo! Yeah, with an 8. So you rolled a 23. So all your studies of Bhaal and your obsession have led you to know a few things. That Bhaal was once a mortal man who worked with a team of 2 other people, and is how they gained their godlike status. That he worked his whole life wanting to be a god. The conversation that was just had with the nice woman makes you think that this is long before he started journeying to become and gain that godlike status. That maybe he's just a child, and this is probably where he grew up. But there are no records that you know to date, or any knowledge or information written in a lore book that details his childhood.
Okay, so and I also have my own piece of paper, and I note all this down, just in case I'm gonna be out of here and be back to my library. Even though I knew this, but I might
Okay,
not,
great, yeah.
Might remember.
Yeah, so you start kind of piecing this together as Derek and Finbar. Casey, are you staying in line, or are you going to follow them to the back of the line?
Oh no, I'm going with the boys.
Great. So you follow them. So the two, Seraphina and Droplet hold your place in line, which is getting very, very close to drawing a slip of paper. Casey, Derek, and Finbar head towards the back of the line, which is pretty long. Like I said, it's about 100 people long in total. You guys seem to be in the upward of the 30 area. And as you get to the back of the line, you see a very, very haggard woman. She is kind of tired looking, middle-aged. She holds her back as if either she's taken an injury or works the fields way too hard. And she stands there by herself. Yeah, she stands there by herself, actually. There are no children. As I told Droplet, kids seem to be doing something else.
Hello, good widow. I say to her.
She says, me?
Yes. Oh, God. Spinster. Not a surprise.
She says, she says, I don't have anything for you. I'm sorry. Did my son do something? He didn't mean to.
No, dearie. We just came to see how you are doing, love.
Doing? Well, I'm in line, for today's festivities.
Yes, how are you, though?
Well, other than the fact I threw my back out last week, I'm just fine.
Oh, you poor thing.
I'm really stuck on this. Did you say testes festivities?
I said today's festivities.
Oh, today's festivities. Goodness.
I'm sorry. My friend here.
Do you always have balls on the mind, Finbar?
Right now, I can't. Yes, honestly, yes. Right now.
She says, no, yes, today's festivities. You know, the lottery.
So, thank you for bringing that up. Be quiet, Finbar. Just for a second.
Not be quiet.
My friend here.
But on this one occasion, I will not speak. It's not because you asked me to. I just happen not to want to.
It's because I need a drink of water.
I'm glad we settled that. As you can see, my friend here's a little soft in the head, and I know we do the lottery every year. But I've been trying to explain to him what it's about because he's forgotten, and he doesn't believe me. So could you just tell him what the lottery is, please, just to settle this, so he knows I'm not lying to him?
Well, she says, I don't know that I'm the best person for that, but I understand loss of memory. This heat here, it really does just take it out of you.
Exactly.
And she kind of pats you on the shoulder. I know what it's like to be old and lose your memory.
Not at all. No, I'm fully functioning.
And she like looks you up and down, and you're
I'm incredibly athletic, actually.
And she looks you up and down, and you definitely
for your age.
100% a middle-aged human. Where things are starting to sag, you know, and you have that like beer belly coming in, and she says, "Of course you are." And she kind of pats you on the shoulder and says, "Well, the lottery, we do it every year. Sacrifice, you know, so that our crops come in."
Sacrifice. You definitely just said the word sacrifice. Right. What kind of sacrifice are we talking here?
Oh, you know, just the usual kind.
Mm-hmm. Remind me.
Just
the usual kind of sacrifice, not an abnormal, strange kind of sacrifice, just a normal kind. Sacrifice is totally normal to me.
Well, she says it's at random.
Of course, as per usual.
It's a lottery. That's what lottery means. See?
Right.
Right, your friend understands. Why is it again you need me to explain this? You seem to be in the know.
I like exposition, all right?
Yeah, I'm always in the know. He just very rarely believes me because the sun has addled him a little. Middle age, he hasn't taken to it well, shall we say.
I understand. I'm afraid I'm losing my mind with my son. And she kind of points over to where the boys are, the kind of local town boys are gathering stones. And there's one child that seems to be off from the rest of them. They're not allowing him to play and collect stones with them. He goes to reach for one, and you guys see one of the kids pop his hand and say, "You can't have that! You can't have that!" And they start kind of bickering at him, and she says, "That's my son. He doesn't make friends very easily."
I mean, look at it.
I elbow Finbar.
Poor kid.
I just fade backwards out of the conversation.
Yeah, she
poor
says,
child. That sounds
well,
awful.
I do wish you all luck. I hope to see you at the festival after.
I was never
Oh
bullied.
yes, absolutely.
I made a lot of friends.
Great, and she calls
Very
out,
easily.
Bhaal, come, son, come closer. And she calls him over.
You named
and
your
grabs-
child Bhaal. Did he ever stand a chance?
It's a family name.
A family name.
Bhaal Jr.
Yes, passed down from his father. His father was Bhaal Senior.
Bhaal Senior. Senior Bhaal.
The senior of the Bhals. And this is my son,
Seymour Bhaal?
Bhaal Jr., the second Bhaal. Bhaal the second.
Second of his name. King of the Andals.
Would you say he hangs a little lower than the first one?
Well, the fruit didn't fall far from the tree, did it?
She starts to cover his ears as you guys make fun of him, and she says, she kind of spits at you and says, "How dare you make fun of a child? He struggles as he is."
It's just so easy.
How dare you?
It's character building. It's fine.
And she says, "Please leave us alone now. We have a lot to consider before this event." She pulls him close and kind of turns her back on you.
All right, little Bhaal.
Oh.
Small Bhaal.
Please open bar.
And
This
you guys
really is
see
an
that
unending amount of drugs.
right the line like shifts forward as actually Droplet and Seraphina, you have made it to the front of the line, and there is a very dapper gentleman in his suit and his hat, a straw hat, very humble but still definitely better dressed than everybody. He's hardy gentleman and he welcomes you. He says, "Yes, welcome to the lottery. Please select your paper."
Hello, so I think you said that I look like now an old lady, an old human lady, right? So
You do.
that would assume that my voice also would change properly.
I mean, sure.
It's up to me. Or I mean, anyway, because I've been like, okay. Hello, good sir. I was hoping you could tell me what this lottery is about, and if I can have a number so I can see if I win or if I lose. And
He pats you on the back and says, "Oh, Miss Mabel, we appreciate and I understand your memory's bad. Just grab your paper. I will explain everything shortly."
Okay, and this is my friend, and he has no. I mean, I think he has
Oh, yes.
wings. No, he has no wings anymore.
He points and goes, "That's Thomas, your grandson."
He's also called Mabel.
I'm just like bewildered. I'm just like looking in disbelief at this man. I'm like,
sorry.
you're joking.
Yeah, and he kind of whispers over to Thomas and says, "Thomas, you really should keep your grandmother on a tighter leash." And he says, Come, Mabel," and pats Seraphina on the back and says, "Take your paper now."
You said you would explain this, but I see lots of children, and I'm not very good with all these children. Will they cause any trouble for us?
The children, no. The children don't participate.
Oh, I think that's better. No. I think that's probably worse based on what I remember.
Miss Mabel, take your piece of paper now. And he kind of he said, "Take your paper, Thomas. You too. You're holding up the line. We have 100 people to get through." And he smiles, this warm, gently smile. It's a folded slip of paper, and he says, "Remember, don't open it yet." He says, "Next!" as he hands, both of you reach in and grab your piece of paper. Does Droplet grab his?
Yeah, I take mine, but I move away back into the crowd and I try to sneakily take a peek at it.
Okay.
I also move away and do exactly the same thing.
Okay, so both of you move to the side. So here's what I need you to do. All right. I need each of you to roll a D100.
Oh shit.
If
All right.
you roll 29, let's hope you don't roll 29.
Space 1D100.
All right. So, Droplet, yours is you gotta write. Yeah, there you go.
I did it wrong. Sorry.
That's okay. / die D100.
Die D100. Yeah.
Let's give that a try. All right. In fact, both of you open up your slips of paper and they are blank. There's nothing written on them.
Yeah.
But I need both of you. But I need both of you to make a sleight of hand to make sure that nobody sees you doing it.
Good luck.
I got a +7 on this. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah. Nobody sees you do it, Dibs. You kind of like just peek it open and kind of take a peek at it.
Stuff.
I have a +3.
Out of 7. Unfortunately, Serafina, you're not sure if it's your old lady hands, but you like crinkle the paper, like an old woman in church trying to undo a candy.
What are you doing?
Well, actually, I have a +4, but anyway, it's the same. It's the same outcome.
Okay, yeah. So 8. So there's a woman right next to you guys who like notices out of the corner of her eye, and she walks over and goes, "Oh, Mrs. Mabel, you know how this works. Don't open your paper yet. You'll ruin the surprise."
Oh, right. My memory. My memory. I'm so sorry.
She goes, "That's okay."
You know how this memory works. I totally forgot.
God damn it!
And
every time.
And if I have to roll anything for that, I can't.
You don't. That's okay.
No.
You're good. You're good. So you convince her. She comes over and she looks at Thomas. And what did you say to her, Thomas?
I repeated her words to Mabel. Don't ruin the surprise.
Yes, exactly. Let's not ruin the surprise. She's like, "I'm going to go join my family." And you see her kind of wander off, and she joins what can only be, her husband and 2 kids. The pile of rocks are now in the middle. And Casey, Derek, and Finbar, have you made it back to the front?
Sure,
probably.
I have, sure.
All right, so you guys make it back to the front of the line just in time to watch your 2 friends go through. And there's a kind of gruff, heavy-set gentleman that goes, "No breaking in line."
But I'm
But
so
you see,
pregnant.
my friend's book's holding my place in line, love.
Why don't I'm gonna have Casey roll a persuasion, but you get advantage because you have a very hot pregnant woman next to you, and I don't mean like she's sexy hot. I mean like she's like perspiring in the sunshine hot.
Let me judge.
The opposite of sex.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right, I have a +4 to this.
Okay, great. Oh no!
You've got
And he says-
advantage.
Yeah, I was so you get that advantage. Roll it again.
Oh, bless.
It's gotta be better. Okay, beautiful.
13.
He goes. See him kind of like gruff, and he goes, "All right, only because you got the pregnant one." And once again, this very cheerful man steps forward with a hat, and he says, "Draw your piece of paper. This year's festival should be one to remember."
As we pass, the
definitely
one who let us through, I'll just pat him and say, "Thank you, kind man. Thank you."
He goes, he like notices your hand on his shoulder as if he's not had a feminine touch in a while. And he goes, you're welcome, Juliet.
Immediately tell that he hadn't had a woman touch him on the arm for a long time.
He's like, oh my, he says, and yeah, he kind of touches the spot.
I kind of
and
let my hand linger for a second and say,
"Please grab his."
"Please, someone clip that."
I'm dead. And he says, yes, ma'am, of course," and even kind of bows this time from your gingerly feminine touch. And you guys step up, and he greets you with the hat. Do you each take your piece of paper, or do you want to say anything?
I'll
Do I have
take
to
the
take
paper.
one for the little ones as well?
The little
Why would you
ones,
say
he
that?
says.
The little ones.
And he says, "Well, only one
Are you
slip per
talking
person."
about your breasts?
and
They
he
are
says,
little, mate.
Or your balls?
This man looks aghast. Miss, you know that is no talk for this kind of festival. Children don't participate,
It's not
as
that
you
kind
know.
of festival, Derek.
Oh yeah, that's next week. And he says, and you should really, if you keep having these strange thoughts, visit me in church on Sunday. We can discuss.
Okay, love.
And he says, great, take your slip of paper.
Grab the
Finbar,
paper.
and Casey, do you grab yours?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then I say to them, "Hi, we are over here."
Yeah, you guys see from the far side of the
Some old
you see-
woman waving at me.
Yeah, you see from the far side of the square
It's me.
that Seraphina and Droplet are over there and have kind of staked out a place, and people are beginning to, as they come through, everybody's got a slip of paper except for the children, though the kids are with their families, and everybody's kind of making a circle around the town square, specifically this pile of rocks and the stage. And you guys wait around, you're able to overhear a few different conversations, whispers of gossip, who's here, who's not here, hoping that everybody shows for it may be worse if they don't. And before you know it, it takes about 15 or 20 minutes to pass everybody through the line, and everybody's got their slip of paper. The crowd falls silent as the last slip of paper is drawn, and we hear Seraphina's music kind of dwindle off, her sad lull, dwindle off into the afternoon air. The sun beats down and it's hot. And this preacher man, as I'll call him for now, steps up, adjusts himself up to the barrel, and says, "Welcome, everyone." And the crowd kind of erupts and claps their We are so happy to have you all here today. As you know, it is the beginning of our great fertility festival. Today, we will give back to our gods and hope that they bless us next season with a ripe crop, one that will feed us throughout. We hope today's sacrifice is enough. So, may we all walk forward and take our stone. And everybody, without opening their papers, walks forward. People begin to walk forward and take baseball-sized or larger stones from a pile.
Yeah, Baal's got a big pair of stones.
Lots of stones.
I take
Well, I had
the
that
biggest
too.
one I can comfortably carry in one hand. I'm up for this.
Yeah, so you pick up a couple, probably 3 or 4.
This is my first radio.
I think I'm not. I think I'm not strong enough to actually have this. This is a bit larger to me, so I take this ball. Oh, I take a ball.
You can
you
cup
take
it
like
in
a
both
rock.
hands, I find.
Yeah, well, and remember, you're technically
So,
human
it's
sized,
not
even though you're
often.
old.
Oh, yeah.
So you pick up a stone, but you're an old lady, so you're it's a little harder, and you kind of like carry a decent, sized rock back over to where you were standing. Casey, Derek, and Finbar, do you also pick up a rock?
I'll
I'll
pick
ask
up
the
one
guy
about
who
the
let us
size
in
of my
last-
hand.
One about the size of your hand. Okay.
If we
Finbar,
notice
Derek?
anything,
Hang on one sec. Let them answer whether or not they picked up their rock for me. Finbar, Derek, do you pick up a stone?
I'll have a rock I can toss around. Yeah.
Yeah, you pick up one that's about fist sized. Derek?
I don't want to bend over, so I'll find the guy who let us in line, and I'll very nicely ask him with another little hand on his arm.
Yeah, you see him bend over.
One
And
of them for me, please.
Oh,
I can't do this.
he's all like
Thanks,
bent
Lord.
over, trying to get past his own giant man belly. And he's got that like plumber's butt right in your face. And he like bends over and like peers up over it and says, "Oh, yes, miss, of course." And he reaches down and grabs you 2 smaller rocks and hands them to you and says, "Be careful with those." And goes to the opposite
that
side of the
lovely?
square.
He just handed you his stones.
He did just hand you two of his stones. And the
I have that
crowd
effect
is
on men,
settled.
man.
The
Oh, let's
last
start it.
person to step up and grab a stone is, in fact, the woman you spoke with at the back of the line. She kind of haggles forward. You can tell she struggles to bend over with whatever injuries she's taken. And she picks up the last of like 3 or 4 rocks on the ground. And it's probably one of the smaller ones that everybody else ignored. And she holds it close. You see the fear kind of around in her eyes as she thumbs the paper that you all have. And she gets back and the gentleman steps up and says, "Well, wasn't that just incredible. Together, we collected these rocks. Thank you to the children for collecting these rocks. And everybody kind of applauds. Yes, yes, thank you for their sacrifice.
Thank you.
And then,
if I may say some words.
he says no. He says no, Mabel.
Stop, Mabel.
Pause, Mabel. So Droplet is going to reach out and try to stop you. Roll me a dexterity to like put your hand over her mouth. Oh, okay.
That's
you can roll a 20. What?
I get a +4 to that as well, so it's 22.
So a 22. Safina, I need you to roll a dex if you don't want to move your head, or if you want to move your head.
No, I do, but I'm just gonna assume that I'm not gonna. Oh well, dex maybe I can. So it is +6. So I'm gonna try to roll and say at least one word.
Nope. His mouth. You hear underneath it, but he manages to like get his hand over your mouth as the crowd kind of all turns and looks at you, kind of trying to put Thomas in place as the old lady holds her rock, and he clears his throat and steps up and says, "Now, we shall all open our papers together. Of course, as ritual is wont to do, we will show our paper to the person next to us to keep honest in what is written on it." And he says, "Please open your papers now." And the crowd, like you can hear him fumbling. If you haven't opened your paper, I need you to roll a D100.
Oh boy. Let's see what's on the paper.
Okay. You got real close. Okay.
I say
That's fine.
Okay. So
the meantime, I show my.
Yeah, you all open your papers.
I show mine to my friend Kinku.
Great. So everybody opens their papers. You guys show each other. Your papers are blank. They're identical. You kind of look around at the people around you, and a silence falls over the crowd as he says, "Well," and then a wail from a woman. No! She screams out from the crowd as it parts, and you see Bhaal's mother crumble to the ground, paper in hand, and on her slip of paper is an undeniable black dot. She says, "No, no."
That much to live for anyway.
And the guards, two guards that were standing next to the stage, come over and grab her. She fights him. "No, no, you can't. No, no, no!" And they toss her in the middle of the town square.
I'm like getting into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and a few of the people are like, yeah, they're beginning to get hyped. You're hearing them clap. The kids are beginning to gather towards the front. They each have rocks in their hands. And they toss her on the ground. And you hear the preacher say, "This is for our God, one who controls life, death, our crops, our luck. We sacrifice to you this woman." And you see out of the corner of your eye a single stone thrown by a child, and it smacks her in the head as you hear it crush a piece of her skull. She begins to bleed. "No, no!" And the guards hold back the child of Bhaal as you know him, as he's like, "Mom, please, please, no!" And people begin throwing rocks at her, stoning her to death in the center of the square. You hear them as they thud against her body, some big, some small. What do you guys do?
I join in.
I'm
I
gonna
used to be on the
whisper.
receiving end of this shit. Like this is my jam right now.
So I'm gonna whisper to them all and say.
I try and stop.
Like I grew up on the street
Okay,
dodging rocks. It feels good.
hang on, you guys. You've got to talk one at a time. So, Serafina, what did you want to do? You whisper to them what?
So I whispered to them and said, "Is it okay now that I say something to you guys? Because this very much I know it doesn't look and sound very pretty, and yeah, I sort of have second thoughts about this, because I thought it's gonna be, you know, some sort of blood, of course, but not this kind of violence.
And as you say that, you see somebody, they're still tossing rocks. The crowd is beginning to get kind of rowdy as you whisper this to the group. Does anybody want to respond to Seraphina?
You're in a memory, mate. This already happened. And I just start chucking my stones.
All right, so you throw a stone. Droplet, you want to throw yours. Casey?
I look to Casey and I'm like, I mean everyone else is doing it.
So Casey, you're not going to throw your stone?
No, I'd like to try and stop the group from doing this nonsense.
Okay, you gotta tell me how you want to do that.
I'll have yours. If you're not going to use it, I mean, I can take yours off your hands.
It's a waste of a perfectly good stone.
It's a good stone, right?
When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Dear Lord.
Do as the Romans do. So if you would like to throw your stone, make me just a basic attack. So you'll roll your d20 and add your strength. Unless you're a rogue, I think you can add your dex instead. As for Seraphina, are you going to throw your stone or not?
No. However, I'm going to cast myself invisibility. That's alright.
Sure, yeah. You guys see the old woman of that is really Seraphina go completely invisible.
And I assume that the ball that I'm holding, that the stone that I'm holding is also invisible, right?
Yeah, so you're invisible at the moment. That was basically your turn in the moment. So Casey, how are you trying to stop the group? Because they're getting ready to throw.
Right. I'm trying to, let's do something crazy. I'm going to cast Charm Person at 3rd level and charm all 3 of them to make them not do that.
Okay. Do they get a roll against you for that? I love this. This is great.
Yes. It is, let me see, Wisdom saving throw.
So I need everybody that's going to throw a stone to make a Wisdom saving throw.
I was thinking of it, but I'm not going to, obviously.
Oh, I see. Finbar has a second guesses.
I was holding
24
right now.
12 plus the
Damn, 24.
13 for me.
I'm a wise old dwarf.
Droplet fails. Derek succeeds.
Okay. So Droplet fails.
Yes.
So what do you charm him? What do you say to charm him?
Droplet, pretty bird, please don't throw your stone. That's a very nice woman. Let's not kill her today. Let's not partake in this.
Derek passed. Well, the good news is, regardless, you guys throw just terribly. They hit her, but just very gingerly. It's almost like you have it wasn't full throttle, like you couldn't bring yourself to do it. Droplets actually drops at his feet as you charm him into not throwing it. It doesn't take but about 10 seconds in total of people tossing these stones and rocks to watch as did any of you throw successfully?
Chelsea?
Yeah.
Chelsea? So I'm still whispering to now specifically to Casey. I say, okay, maybe we have to stop at our friends, but everybody else is also throwing rocks. Do we have any plan to actually try to stop them all? Because I can try some.
It's like 100 people. She's pretty well dead.
Yeah, she's dead at this point. Seraphina, she is dead at this point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It only took about 10 seconds for them to stone her to death. She's done. And the final rock comes out of the crowd.
I am too slow now, as old lady.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It just didn't take very long. By the time you guys took a turn, it was pretty much your full 10 seconds. And it kind of bangs, they bang her up. She's laying on the ground bleeding out, and you see the last of her rocks cave in the side of her skull as she goes limp on the ground. And you hear from the crowd that cry and scream of the young boy, "Nah!" And as he does so, the entire realm that you stand in begins to shake and alter. The sky begins to rip open, is the only way I know to explain it. And light pours in, not sunlight, but infinite light. And the space gets bright and bursts open. And as you come to, once again, you blink your eyes from the sunlight, and you are once again standing in line where you started. about 25 minutes ago.
Oh, so we're doing this again.
Oh no.
That's a very likely assumption. I would guess that's a very. I mean, maybe we can try something different now.
I think Bhaal's aid is somewhere in this domain. We don't need to concern ourselves with the stoning. We've done that. It was very nice. We don't need to do it again. We need to find the id.
Who was it very nice for, Derek? Who was that nice for?
I thoroughly enjoyed that. I met a very nice young man. He was lovely to me. You seem nice.
Did seem nice.
He seemed lovely. Let's
do
not
something
stone
different.
another
Is what
woman
I'm
today.
saying. Exactly.
I mean,
we've done that. We've scratched that off.
Perhaps we should try saving said woman.
That would be my opinion, but however, I didn't have the time at the time. You know what I mean? Yes, I think you do. Anyway,
I almost certainly. But we could try and save
anyway,
her. It seems like it could work, I guess.
Have you been here before?
Yes, just a few minutes
This
ago.
specific place, yeah. Yeah, you were here with us.
Me too, yeah.
So
is there anything?
Yeah,
I think you're muted.
Yeah, I'm just trying. So, what are you trying to say something? Because Droplet also had something I think he wanted to add, so I wanted to make sure we heard what he said.
He goes ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go and like kind of loosen up my shoulders and just say Droplet switch tickets, and I just like move back and get behind the woman.
Yeah, and you guys basically have a few minutes where you're kind of bantering, and you're trying to figure it out. The kids, once again, are almost on repeat, restacking the rocks. And Seraphina, you're actually first in line, and the old man says, Miss Mabel and her grandson Thomas, welcome. Here, take your piece of paper.
Yes, I'm gonna do that. I'm sorry. I'm feeling a bit out of place still. I think it's because it's my old age.
Oh yes, of course. We know your memory is so bad. All you have to do is reach in the hat, Miss Mabel, and pull your piece of paper.
Right.
Come on, Mabel. You've done this before.
Can I like give her a slight push as he tries to reach in, so we can knock the hat onto the floor?
Oh. Sure. Why don't you make I was about to say, why don't you make a sleight of hand?
All right, I've got +7 on that. Should work.
So you are actually we're actually pushing me. So I can.
I'm giving you a nudge. I'm giving you a nudge to put you slightly off balance.
I am a very old lady. Just
exactly. Like all it needs is a disheveled little stone to make you lose balance.
Don't worry, dude.
So he does not make the dex to catch it. So we see Droplet. You guys see him kind of like nudge Seraphina, the old woman, and she goes, and it dumps the hat, and papers go everywhere. And he goes, no, and he starts to kind of pick them up and clean them up. And you see him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, trying to recount. He's counting people, trying to figure it out.
Darrak's gonna start just muttering.
I'm gonna go. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go in all fours and try to help him, but not actually help. Just trying to make everything much more confused.
Stop!
I really want to
stop. He goes, stop.
Can I make another sleight of hand while she's doing that?
But yes, he looks at Thomas. He's looking at you for the record, so your sleight of hand will be a disadvantage. So I want to wait.
Okay, yeah,
he looks at Droplet and says, Thomas, take your grandmother. Grab her piece of paper and go in. You have caused a mess already. I'm going to have to recount. I have to make sure. And he kind of looks very, very frustrated.
But it was our fault. We have to help you. Come on.
He goes, I will fix it. Now, as he turns around to go put them in the hat, you can make another sleight of hand and let me know what you're trying to do, Droplet.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can figure out which one.
Just wait a second, Seraphina. Wait a second, Seraphina. Let Droplet finish his action. Go ahead.
So I'm just gonna try and grab one that doesn't have a dot on it, so I have something to swap into the mother's hands later.
Okay. Okay. Great.
That will be a 17.
Oh, a 17. Yeah, you're able to like pick one up and you like quick look at it, and it is in fact blank. But you have to grab two, right? One for you, one for her. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, but for Seraphina, I just grab one, a random one.
Okay, yeah, and, oh, no, I was talking about yours. You need Thomas's, and you need a blank one for the woman. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, well, I can do that, yeah, I guess. I mean, that wasn't my plan, but that works.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Tell me what your plan is.
No, I just wanted to grab a blank one and sleight of hand it into, like, to give it to, Baal's mom.
Okay, so she's all the way at the back of the line, so you're just gonna have to pick one up and hang on to it till she makes it through the line. Yeah, okay, cool. So you pick one up for yourself because you have to have one, and you pick another blank one up, and you absolutely managed to do it with an 18. And Seraphina, are you gonna grab one as the old lady as well? Because you've got to have a piece of paper.
Yeah, I lost the moment again, I think. So, yeah, he's not actually gonna buy what I was about to say actually. So I'm gonna pick at random and also head back to the line.
So you turn around and go back to the line. You don't pick up a piece of paper.
No, I do.
Oh, well, once you pick up a piece of paper, they usher, you pick up a random piece of paper, no problem. He sees you do it, and the guards usher both of you through to the town square. You can't go back to the line once you picked up a piece of paper. And now we get to Casey, Derek, and Finbar. Do you guys see this mess happen? He manages to collect what he feels like is most of the papers. He whispers something to the guards after they usher Thomas and old lady Mabel through, and he makes an announcement. It looks as if we are lost a few of our pieces of paper due to a slight mishap. We, in fact, will go down to 97. No longer 197. And he says, please. And the guards go over and pull 3 people from the line at random, 2 men and a woman, and push them to the sides and says, you can't participate. We're short on papers.
Well, it really is the taking part that counts. So we're trying to save this woman for some reason, because we didn't like her being stoned, obviously. So how do we make sure that we are not the ones that get stoned? Because if you remember, if we die, there's no one to bring us back. So have we thought about that? Whilst we didn't like the woman being stoned, we did like not being stoned ourselves.
I think the key to that is be lucky.
Right.
Or being quick.
Well, I've always been lucky.
Well, there we go, then we're fine. And if we die, right, all I'm saying is this is all a simulation. And if we die, then we can't restore Baal's aid. So really, I think we're all right. Maybe I'm wrong.
All right.
Maybe I'll be left with stone on my face. I mean, no offense, I've been here longer than you. Unless you've been having
What's your
own
idea, Casey?
Yes, thank you for remembering my name, Finbar.
Is that your name?
I believe.
Have we slept together before? It just said Farina brought it up before, and
oh, you only wish, darling.
Okay. So we have.
You only wish. So
it was my only wish.
Kenku. We could, in theory, swap tickets with another person. Swap on tickets with another person and ensure that if she does select the black dot again, that it is not in her possession when the readings happen.
Right. I was following almost all of that. So
I have a very bold idea.
You're not near them. You're already inside. They're still standing in line. Hang on, Seraphina. You're not anywhere near them. You guys went through again early. So the hardy man now steps up and says, well, it is your time. You're holding up the line. Chit-chatting. We'll have time for that after.
Just give a pregnant lady a second. I
am sorry.
Do any of you can any of you do magic? Can any of you get near her and make sure that paper is blank when she opens it, even if it's got a spot on it?
Yes.
I can.
So can I.
Let's do that. Let's try that. Worst thing that happens is we have to do this again.
That's all I'm saying is I said it
That's
first.
perfectly fine.
I'll take my piece of paper.
I mean, not
So, are you guys saying this silently, or are you openly having this conversation around this preacher?
there?
Quietly.
Why don't I have all of you roll me a stealth check on that?
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Oh boy. Why didn't I just
is this
say
se-
silent?
That's a 13.
Okay,
have a
at a
plus-
third.
22.
Okay,
Three.
Ooh.
okay. Oh, so Derek, you're kind of quiet. Oh, you have a
Wait,
plus
so
3.
it's
Okay.
12.
So yeah, Finbar is extremely like he's nailed down the whispering stealth aspect.
I've got
the
a loud
two
whisper
of
down.
you- Yeah, a loud whisper down. Your stage whisper is on
My
point.
stage whisper is really good.
Unfortunately, Casey and Derek, yours is pretty good. But between the roar of the crowd and the fact you're standing right in front of this man, he picks up on a few certain words that you say, including the words swap and black dot.
Okay.
And you
Oh,
see his
God.
brow furrow
That's
as he
a
looks
bad
at you and
word.
says, yeah. And he says, "You're not trying to cheat, are you?"
No, love, no.
No, no,
Firstly-
I'm cheating.
Firstly, eavesdropping is very rude, can I just say? I'm heavily pregnant, and this morning there was a bit of an accident, and there was a black spot in my unmentionables, and I had to swap them before I
He
came
goes,
out. because you don't
ma'am.
You don't
No,
want to come
I
out
don't.
on festival day
That's gross.
with
Black
dirty
spots?
underwear.
It's not
Everybody's
that
gonna
kind of
see it.
festival. That's next
No.
week's festival.
Very rude
Honestly,
to
should
eavesdrop.
never ask
many
questions
times?
between two ladies talking. You should know this by
He
now.
goes,
That's
ladies,
also a
I
handsome
am
man talking.
so sorry. I did not mean to get involved in your personal, private conversation. I thought you were talking about, of course, the black spot on the
It's fine.
the paper.
I love it. It's a stressful day for everyone. I understand you've got a very important job to do.
I do have a big, important job. Speaking of my job, please select your paper.
Take
All right.
Take mine.
All right, and so now, Finbar, do you take
I'm
your
not
piece of
sure
paper?
how I feel. Not sure how I feel about this, but yes.
So I need everybody now to roll a D97 because
I'm
you
so
have
glad you didn't make me roll for that.
narrowed the pool. I almost did, but it was too good to allow. I was like, no, we're gonna accept that. Why don't you
So,
guys
for the record-
roll? Yep, D97.
So did I take more than one, or did I just take one?
Not D100, D97.
Oh shit!
So
I mean, I know I grabbed one blank one, but did I grab more?
yeah, you grabbed 2 blank ones.
All right, good.
So, good news, nobody rolled a 77. So, you all end up with blank pieces of paper. The ceremony begins as it did. He comes up, he makes his speech, and says, "Please step forward and select your rock." The crowd begins to close in, and people begin picking up rocks and things.
Okay, so I make sure
Yep.
I'm near to Baal's mother.
Okay?
I also make sure I'm close nearby to Baal's mother.
Okay, so you guys kind of change places this time in the half circle. You see that she's actually the last person that goes up. Did you say something, Serafina? You might have been on mute. I just didn't hear you.
I am now near them.
Yes, they have walked over and joined you around the circle.
Okay. Okay, I say to them in a whisper. I mean, we do have to do something, if not saving anyone.
No, we can't talk about this. The guards are listening. We have to just go with it now.
But
It's too late for planning.
this is going
We nearly got
over and
caught
over
outside.
until a new ball, which is not very. It's
That's
not
how
very.
this works. We have to just go with it. We can't talk
I
about
know-
it now. They're listening
I
to
know,
us.
I know this story. I read about
As she keeps talking, I'm going to
this
cast
story.
silence on her.
You cast silence like around all of you.
Silence. Yep. Cloud of silence.
There's like a bubble of silence, and you go, and none of you
And I
can
cast
say
it
anything.
I suppose we don't have
so we
any.
can walk out of it.
Is there any way for him to cancel it out? Does he get a save of any kind?
I don't believe so. Let me double check.
Let's see. I don't have counter spell, that's for sure. So what I could do is
No, there's no save for it.
Yeah, so
No,
you
that's-
guys feel this almost invisible bubble of silence overcome all of you, including the woman you're kind of standing next to. She's like right in front of you. You guys have made that like semicircle, like predators around her, and she's completely unknowing. She holds the hand of 8-year-old Bhaal. And you can see her thumbing nervously as she lets go of his hand and is once again one of the last people to go into the center, select her very small rock, and come back. She smiles in a terrified way at all of you as she turns around and again takes her place at the front, waiting for him to ask people to open their pieces of paper.
I want to at least try and swap one of my blank pieces of paper with hers. Just
Are
like
you?
handing it.
I was about to say, are you trying to do it stealthily where she doesn't notice?
Or
are you wanting to make her aware of it?
I just bump into her in the crowd. Like I don't want her to make a scene or get scared or.
Okay. Yeah. Just
bump
roll that
into
sleight
her
of
and try
hand
to-
thing. We'll say you actually go up right behind her, and as you guys are passing, you like shoulder check her accidentally and go to switch
Pretty
it.
much.
So let's have you roll that stealth of hand or the sleight of hand again. The stealth of hand.
Oh my God.
No! Oh no!
It's still an 8,
As-
technically. No.
As you shoulder, okay, it's an 8.
You're bad at this.
As you shoulder check her, both of your pieces of paper and hers go in the air, and all three in front of the entire crowd fall to the ground. And even though you guys are in silence, the gentleman that's up at the podium points and goes, "Cheater! We have a cheater! Grab the woman!" He thinks it is the woman that has done this. And the 2 guards run over and grab her, and she says, "No, please!" And he goes, "Everyone, open your papers!" And the guards quickly open all 3, looking at you. One of them kind of points a small sword at you, and everybody opens it up. And one of the guards holds up the spot and says, "She had it! She had the dot! She was trying to cheat and get out of it!" And he says, "Quickly to the center of the ring," and they bring her in and dump her, and quickly push Thomas back towards the edge. As once again we see that first stone tossed, smacks her in the head, and the chaos ensues as stones are flying. And we watch once again as her body becomes a pulpy, fleshy mess from the weight of stone and anger and aggression from the crowd.
I looked at Droplet and I said, "I blame you a lot for this."
I look back at him. I just shrug. I'm like, fuck this.
You can't hear him because silence is still up, but you see Finbar like, in the like silent bubble. And once again, you hear the wail of her as she dies, her skull crushed in, and her son this time actually breaks free of the guards. "No, Mom!" And you manage to see him come running as he hits the side of the ground. And the preacher says, "Our sacrifice has been made. Let the festivities begin." And he sobs, "Mom," over her body. And you see him reach this time for something around her neck and pop a locket off as he holds it tight, and he screams, "Ah!" as the world again begins to shake and shatter and crush, and once again, it all starts over. Your eyes come to, the sun beats down on you, and you are replaying that moment again as you stand in line where you once stood.
Now, I would say
really
that I'm
tired.
so far the only one who hasn't screwed something up. I have done
I have not
nothing.
screwed anything up. I have been excellent so far. Thank you very much.
I will let it say for the record, I have done nothing. So,
No, that's correct. Very rarely do
Well, I
anything.
assume,
thank you. Thank you.
I assume
That's right.
now.
Nothing.
So I do assume now that I can speak again.
Yeah, silence has dropped now, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it's broken at this point.
For the record, I had plenty to do, plenty to say, but I wasn't able to, for the record. And I actually have I think I still have a paper from if it is like a paper old or not, I don't know. But I still make a note of that.
Let's say, for the record, I can do that 4 more times today.
I mean, so you bring your stuff out and start sketching. Is that what you're saying, Serafina?
If there is a record, put it on it.
Are you sketching? Is that what you were doing, Serafina? You said you pull your paper and quill out again?
No. I make a note of. No, I am. I mean, I write books with images and text mixed.
Great. So you break your stuff out and you're writing
children's stories.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you're standing in line writing again, and is anybody else doing anything before you make it to the front of the line?
So
have
I lost? Is the charm gone yet?
The silence charm dissipated as soon as the realm broke.
No, when Casey charmed.
Basically, any magic that was cast last memory loop is now gone.
Okay, so I get up in her face and with a very roguish, grunting voice, tell her, "You do that again, and I will cut your throat."
Whoa, that's intense. That's intense. Droplet.
I'm not afraid of you, love. You're very sweet, pretty bird. I appreciate that, and I appreciate.
Just said cut your
I appreciate
throat.
the threat.
Yeah. You appreciate threats? You're insane.
I like it. I don't like many people.
You're all insane.
I am currently dead.
He was stoning someone. He's obviously mad, and you clearly enjoy threats of people slitting your throat. I think Derek here and I may be the only sane ones here.
I will say she's adapted very quickly to this realm, and I do approve of that. Most of the people, most of the newbies that Bhaal gives us are just like, "Oh no, I'm dead. Oh no, but I'm not dead. But I didn't die." I like these two. 3. Numbers, not my strong suit.
All right.
At any rate, if I can, I'm gonna let me just check the how long it lasts. Just a sec. Okay. I'm gonna roll onto myself. Am I any near Casey?
Yeah, you guys are all standing in line together.
Or if I can. Okay, can I stealthily go to her side or to her front or to her back?
You can choose. It's free action. You can do whatever you'd like, as long as you know if she may get to roll against you if you attack her. So.
No, but yeah. However, I am just asking because it is a line. It is a queue. So maybe someone would not be very,
So you are at the you are at the front of the line. Everybody else is behind you. The 4 of them are behind you.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go to stand either in front or behind Casey. All right.
Okay, great. Let's say that you are able to go behind her. That makes you last in line.
So we all
is that all you wanted to do?
Right?
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Well, I'm gonna whisper to her. You also find this a bit strange. You also agree with me that we should do something that would prevent this looping from happening again, or do you? And I do that in a whisper.
Okay, so I need you to roll me the stealth to make sure nobody else hears. Droplet, yes, you are correct. Everybody, it was pretty out in the open as he ripped the locket from her chest and wailed into the sky in agony over his mother's dead body. That was all very clear to you before the memory broke open and started again.
Stealth, +6, alright?
So a 19. You successfully whisper. Nobody but Casey hears what you just said. Casey, would you like to respond in any way?
I agree that we need to break the loop. The problem is trying to break the loop without causing so much chaos as we did last time. Because as much help as that was...
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I do remember that I still have some spells. Perhaps you do too. I actually have an ability to make 2 people invisible, not just me. However,
I'm listening to the mad person.
However, I am still invisible.
You're not invisible. You're not invisible anymore. Any magic that was cast in a past one is done, unless you're going to cast it on yourself.
No.
No, you can go invisible. You're welcome to cast it, but you will draw attention to yourself.
I'm not gonna invisible again because probably I still have just 1 more slot in that area. So, yeah.
I have a spell, a cantrip, something I can do at will, that will allow us to change how her paper looks. As long as I'm standing nearby her, I can do it. But the problem is making sure that no one can see me do it.
I am very good.
However, I can't. So I could provide to you to be invisible. However, as soon as you cast a spell, they always will see you because it'll break the spell. Yeah, I have a few other tricks. A few other plans B's.
As you say that, the line moved. Oh, go ahead, Derek.
That's okay. I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, you guys, basically as this is happening, the line has moved up and the 5 of you are once again at the front. And the very happy gentleman holds this hat up. Go ahead, it is your turn. Take your slip of paper.
I'm not going to try talking in front of him again. I'm just going to take my slip of paper and go through. And I want to get near the woman.
Okay. She'll be kind of last through, but she seems to be in the memory as you've played it twice. You know she keeps going back to the same spot.
Cool.
Every time, so you're able to kind of be in that area. Anybody else just take your piece of paper and enter?
Yep. I move with Derek.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And he nods you on. Wonderful, wonderful. And Miss Seraphine, Miss Mabel, your piece of paper.
Yes. And I took, and I have to roll my own now.
You're not gonna roll yet unless you're opening it up.
No, I'm not gonna open this time.
Okay, great. So yeah, you hold it, not yet. And once again, you guys enter. You guys can follow Derek off to the area where it seems like Bhaal's mother keeps ending or winding up. And the crowd once again selects their pieces of paper. The ritual starts as usual. Everybody goes in and grabs their rocks. Does everybody want to rock?
No.
Yeah. No.
I do take a rock.
Can I ready an action?
I'll take a rock.
Yes, of course you can. What action would you like to ready?
As she opens the paper and we see it's got the black spot on it, can I cast Sanctuary on her? So that everyone who attacks her has to make a wisdom saving throw to hit her?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, that's brilliant.
I would also like to do...
Okay, are you guys basically waiting until the stoning begins, or you're wanting to do this in advance?
Give me 1 second.
Hang on, Seraphina. Go ahead, Casey.
So I want to kind of look like I'm praying, but I'm actually going to cast Minor Illusion on her paper to make what it looks like.
Look completely blank. Okay. And you cast Derek,
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary on her.
If the illusion doesn't work, people will find it hard to hit her with the stones.
Okay, great. She doesn't have to roll anything for Sanctuary as long as she's willing, right?
I will double check for you. Let me have a look.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I am pretty sure as long as she's like unaware, willing, she doesn't have to roll anything against it. So yeah, she
Yes, there's no. If she makes an attack or casts a spell, then it ends. But otherwise, yeah, it just affects her.
She can't. She just normal. She can't do that. So you guys see, everybody fills in. Everybody goes and gets their rocks. You get one if you want one. Yes, Seraphina.
I have one question. From now until the start of everybody opening their papers and throwing rocks, etc., how long does this take? Do I remember? Do I have
on average, it takes them between about 10 to 15 seconds to injure her enough where she doesn't live.
No. I mean,
while...
from now, where everybody hasn't opened the papers yet, until everybody one have the paper and everybody starts reading.
I got it. So here's what needs to happen. If you would like to do an action pre everybody opening the papers, you need to do it now. Because he's about to tell them to open the papers.
Okay, I'm gonna cast a bardic inspiration on I'm gonna throw on Casey. So it is 1d8.
Okay, so you give bardic inspiration to Casey.
You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. You know.
Appreciate it, love. I'm gonna do the minor illusion.
Yeah, and you do successfully.
I'm looking like I'm praying over my piece of paper as I'm casting it.
And you see, for this is the first time that you've actually. Yeah, no, go ahead, Droplet.
I want to cast Unseen Servant and position it near where we've seen them stone her repeatedly.
Okay, great. And remind me again exactly what
bonus. Unseen Servant does. It creates an invisible, mindless, shapeless servant for simple tasks. Bonus action to mentally command it.
What is the task you would like it to undertake?
For now, I just wanted to wait at where people get stoned normally.
Okay, so you want to cast it so it appears in the center of town.
But yeah, but it is invisible, so it's just there. It is I know it's there, but nobody else does.
Okay, good. Okay, that was the clarification. I was like, okay. So,
it's just waiting. It's waiting for me to command it again.
So it's waiting there. You kind of know the spot at this point, having watched it happen twice. The same thing happens. He says, yes, look at our devout villager praying on her knees to the gods to assure that our crop comes in next season. Please, in this moment of spiritual awakening, open your pieces of paper. And everybody opens their pieces of paper. Now, of course, show it. And everybody shows it around. And he says, well, black dot, anybody? He says, wait. Nobody has the black dot? Nope.
Minor illusion like some random guy to have a black spot on this piece of paper. It's like, he has it!
Oh my god. Okay,
and then I lob my stone at his face.
Oh my god, Finbar! So, oh my god. So, you do the same thing. Minor illusion, and the dot appears, and the guy goes, no. This was blank. You saw it. This was a blank piece of paper. No. As it like knocks him upside the head, and the guards grab him and throw him into the center. People start tossing rocks at him. Even you see Bhaal's mother like shield his ears and his eyes from the horror as people viciously toss rocks at this man, and he as he goes flat. And he says, got him. Yeah,
job, coach.
And the town preacher says, "It is done. May the festivities begin." And the two guards go over and pick up the limp body and carry it off to the side. And you hear off deeper into town the sound of music start to play, drums and a flute. And he says, "Ale all around." Kegs get brought out. People begin to celebrate this time around. Blood still pooled in the center of the cobblestone and in town. They dance around it, splash through it. Their footprints carry everywhere. As you guys watch this celebratory energy arise out of the townsfolk, which just juxtaposes the horrific scene you just watched. And you
I'm just trying to fit in and with my flute, but it's still finding this scene not very appealing and not at all what she expected when she made a deal to actually be here in this realm.
Yeah, so you like start playing, and it's actually Finbar. You feel the tug at your everybody's like and you feel the tug at your waist of a small child, and you look down, and it's in fact Bhaal has come over, and he says, "I saw what you did."
What? Oh. Yes.
I saw you do that. I don't know how you did it, but I saw you. And then he points and looks at you and he said, I saw you. You saved my mother.
Yes, well, maybe she's good for another year or two.
He gets really sad. What do you mean?
No, dear, it's all right. It's all right. You're going to live a long, happy life. It's going to be all right.
She was supposed to die. And you guys saved her! And he starts to kind of like whimper. He's like, I wanted to say thank you.
I'm so
I hug him. Oh my goodness.
Kind of harshing my mellow over here, kid, so.
And he says, would you like to come meet my mom? I told her that somebody made her paper look different. Nobody believes me, and then I told him that this is over. And then this guy, he had the spot, but he didn't really have the spot. And he's just kind of like freaking out.
Absolutely, we'd love to meet you.
Speak with your mother.
Oh, he's like, good, and grabs Finbar's hand and starts dragging him over. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. No, that's interesting to see.
And drags you over to his mom, who is kind of sitting, aching like on a chair, still holding that spot on her back. And she says, I apologize for my son. He swears that he saw you change my piece of paper. What a silly, silly child. I know that is just not even possible.
And if that had happened, he couldn't tell anyone because they might still kill you, right?
I'm sorry. Did you say kill me?
Say yes. Tell him he can't tell anyone.
Bhaal, these strange people that you seem to like very much don't want you to tell anyone that they changed my piece of paper, okay? We're gonna just say that we played along and won fair and square, right, Bhaal? And she kind of holds his face as he like, but you don't understand. You were supposed to die, Mom.
That's a horrible thing to say to your mother.
I mean, can you blame him?
She did name him Bhaal.
You see him pout, and he says, nobody ever believes me! Nobody ever likes me! And he starts to get kind of angry and red in the face, and he's like, you guys want me to lie, but you saved my mom! And he starts to cry and freak out again, and he's rocking back and forth. No!
See, never gonna get friends this way.
He starts into the center of town, kind of panicking, and he's pointing, he's like,
silence.
They're witches! Oh, you cast silence on him? As he's this kid points from the center of town and goes, they're wit! And then the silence bubble goes, and he's like...
So can I use this confusion to try and take the locket?
You can absolutely try if you'd like to pick it off her neck. I'm gonna need a really high roll. I wish I could cast silence on children.
So good.
My job as a teacher, so
I can do that
much easier.
I love it.
All right, so yeah, let's see what that roll is, Droplet.
Can I hex her first?
I'm sure.
Ooh. Whoa!
Damn, a hex. This got serious up in here.
Do I need to roll?
It sounds both kinky but not at the same time. But anyway.
What
so
hex
that's
are
a
you
bonus
casting?
action.
Yeah, the hex is a bonus action.
So what's her defense? Like, it's going to be sleight of hand. What's her defense against that? Dexterity or like,
you were going to. You just roll this sleight of hand. You said you were hexing her. What were you hexing her with? Anything? You said you were gonna put something on her.
No. Like, I want to first hex her with a bonus to give her a disadvantage on ability checks.
Oh, okay. So yeah, hers will be a perception to see if you are pulling it off of her.
All right. So I'm going to hex her on perception, and then I'm going to try and take the amulet.
Perfect. So you roll sleight of hand. She's going to roll. I was about to say she's going to roll at disadvantage.
Woo!
So she rolls
I've
a
got
9.
+7, so I'm 21.
Holy!
But that was close.
Well,
was
I rolled
really
a nat
close.
20. So the good news is she does take the 10, not the 20, and doesn't even, she's so concerned about her son now running into the center of town trying to make a scene that as she gets up to go chase after him, you're able to just like take the locket off of her neck. And she goes into the center of town, and you see him still pointing. And he screams and wails. Yeah, go ahead.
I just pocket it. I just like keep my hand on it and stick my hand into my pocket.
And he points, and as his mother walks in, she's trying to comfort him, and she bridges the silence bubble, and she's like trying to figure out what's going on, and they're beginning to cause a little bit of a scene in the center of town. People start kind of like pointing. Somebody comes over to help her and realizes the silence bubble is on, and the town begins to become a little bit aware that something's a little.
I'm just going to start walking away.
We should all leave now. Let's just.
Silence is staying up. They're not telling me what till I'm long gone.
I was about to say, so you managed to get the locket, Kinku, or I mean, Droplet.
Yeah, I've got it.
Are you going anywhere? Because basically your options
I'm
are
just going to go with Derek.
So the options in terms of places to go, you can go back out of basically the city gate, which is just a small, where you like checked in, and it looks like it's a path that leads deep into the woods that surround this place. The only other option seems to be the town itself.
I'm just getting out
Let's
of
leave
town.
the town. Out of town.
Yeah, let's skip town. That seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna follow Casey because you know.
I take old Mabel by the arm.
Okay, and you said you were going to cast something on Casey?
No, I am gonna follow her.
Oh, you're going to follow her. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure where she's going, but I'm going to go. I am gonna go in her direction and stand beside her.
Great. Yeah. So you watch as they begin to exit.
Are you holding me still? Sorry.
Yeah, I take you by the arm and just guide you, like friendly, nothing.
I mean, they're all go. You guys are all going the same direction, Seraphina. You're all going together. So you kind of set off in the direction out of town, and it is Bhaal actually that breaks free as his mother and the crowd, and he comes chasing after you. You still have silence on him?
Once he gets within 20 feet of us, if he does, I'll drop it so it doesn't affect us.
Yeah, so he does. He comes like, you guys, you can't hear it, but the pitter patter of feet. He comes running up behind you and is actually going to make a jump dive at Droplet. He does not like the fact you took his mother's locket. So
Can
he
I catch
is not.
him?
You can definitely. I was about to say you can make a dex, but he just nat 20'd. His athletics dive to tackle Droplet.
Hey,
Okay.
chat,
Well,
we could use the nat 20 right now.
Can I roll an athletics or can I roll acrobatics to like get out of the way?
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll higher than a 21, but sure.
Well, I mean, I've got expertise in this, so I've got a good shot at least.
All right, yeah, roll at least. I mean, he's still probably gonna grab you, but you can definitely attempt to. He did roll that correct
Not fall
success.
over.
Let's be real. Yeah, not fall over.
Oh god, I failed it.
No, like a damn spider monkey, he comes running, and Derek drops the silence on him moments before he reaches you guys, and you hear as the silence drops, as this 8-year-old boy just like attacks your back, and he's like ripping and tearing at you. I'm guessing that 20 hit in terms of like actually like hitting you, which is what he was trying to do, like rip at you. Why don't we roll opposing dex checks to see if he gets the locket out of your hand? You said you put it in somewhere? In a pocket?
Yeah, I have it in my pocket, yeah.
Okay,
like,
great.
I still have it in my hand, but like my hand is also in my pocket.
In my pocket? Yeah, so you can see him like ripping at you. And he goes, "Give me back my father's locket! Give it to me!" He says as he's like ripping and tearing at you. And you simply take 2 points of damage as he begins tearing away at your flesh with his little kid fingers. He is like viciously attached to you, ripping apart, trying to get your hand out of your pocket with the locket. He saw you put it in there.
Okay, sure. So
we will now roll for. I was about to say, roll the dex, and we're going to roll for, and we are going to roll for initiative. We have gone into combat.
Finally.
So I'm going to let. Yep, I'm going to let. I'm going to let Droplet do. You said you were rolling what, Droplet?
Dex, like, well, Well, just opposing dex checks, right?
Oh, yeah, just opposing dex to see if he gets it out. Yeah, so... Oh, hang on. I'm not in roll 20. Yeah, there we go. Let's just quick roll our opposing. He just... Oh, I didn't do that right. I'm sorry. Ignore that 20. Yeah, you definitely beat him at the dex in terms of getting it out of the pocket. Like, he can't get it out of your hand. So you beat him at that, but he is definitely on your back. I'm going to just go around and have you guys give me your initiative number. That'll be easier on me, okay? He's going to roll for initiative 2. He doesn't really have any stats, so... And... rolled the net 20. So, Bhaal...
That's annoying.
Baby Bhaal will go... We're going to call him Baby Bhaal. Baby Bhaal goes first with a 20. Seraphina, what was your initiative roll? Total.
I roll a 19, which
Beautiful.
is 15 plus 4.
Beautiful. And Droplet?
I rolled 4. And that
total. Oh my god. Okay. And Finbar, what did you roll for your initiative?
I've got a kid on my back. Come on.
He's like got his hands in your eyes.
What did I roll? I don't know what I rolled. Maybe I didn't roll.
7.
Oh no, you did.
I rolled 7.
You rolled 7 total. That was there it is, right? Casey, what did you roll for your initiative?
I rolled a 12.
All right, and Derek?
14 for once in my life.
14.
Hey.
Hot dog. So our initiative order goes a little like this. It will be Bhaal first, followed by Seraphina, Derek, Casey, Finbar, and Droplet, who of course has the kid Bhaal on his back. Okay. And the kid Bhaal. We'll call him Baby Bhaal. Baby Bhaal on his back. And start initiative order. He once again is going to try to grab that from you, Droplet. So we're gonna make again opposing dex.
Okay.
From you. He rolled a 2, so I'm gonna take that as probably a no, unless you succeed. It's getting messier. You guys are at that point where your hands are like this and you can't get the locket. It's just like a disaster. And the locket's like bouncing in between you as he's latched onto you. Yeah, like Yoda on your back. That was Bhaal's turn. He's not so interested in hurting you as he is in getting the locket. And so we move to Seraphina. How do you handle the situation with
him.
All attached to Droplet? I think you're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry about it. Assume that I have a very I can see this what is it? This resemblance? It's a locket.
This
trinket. Oh, locket. And I'm gonna. I probably know it's not gonna work, but I'm gonna cast a minor illusion on the floor around 10 feet from us, and I'm gonna say, wait. I think that might be yours, isn't it? I say to Little Balls.
Okay, so you can't.
Mine.
Okay, so you cast an illusion to put another locket on the ground. Am I correct? About 10 feet away? All right, I need you to roll a deception because he's literally got his eye on the locket in the Kinku's hand. So you're trying to convince him that the one on the ground is not fake.
So I have a +5.
Okay, that's not enough because he's literally got the locket in his hand between his and Droplet's hand, and he just stopped for like 2 seconds and look and see the illusion, and then looks at you and goes, "That's not real!" and then starts fighting again with Droplet. That's not my mom's locket, and begins it all over again. Would you like to take any movement, Seraphina?
I'm still gonna go. If I'm not at the place, I'm gonna move beside Casey again.
Okay, great. Yeah, and you kind of move up to give her into her area, and And we move right along the initiative order, which puts us in place for Derek. Derek, you see this. He casts this fake when it looks just like it, but the kid's not buying it. He's got his hand so close to the one with Droplet. How would you like to proceed?
Whole person on the kid. He has to
he gets what kind of roll against that?
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, he's not wise.
Good.
The flat D20 roll out of 14.
Ooh, 15 is the DC.
He doesn't. So you guys see as he's like trying to fight with Droplet, his body like freezes around the Kinku. And it just like, you can see his eyes like bulging.
Doesn't solve my problem.
No, it's still attached to him, but now it's like frozen around him.
I don't want to get right up in his ear with my hands on his shoulders, but kind of a little too close for comfort around his neck and say, "Kid, calm the fuck down."
And as you're in this creepy position, whispering into the ear of a held child that's wrapped around another man, up runs Ball's mother. Yeah. She goes, "Oh my god, what have you done to my son?" And she like runs over and she starts like patting him and she's like, "Get away from him! You are all so weird!
You have
What have you done?" She goes, "And what?" She goes, "What? What are you doing with my locket?" And she goes to reach and snatch it from Droplet's hand. Droplet, do you pull back?
Yeah.
He rolls a 15, so she gets a +2. And she roll a dex against her if you're trying to like keep it from her.
Oh, I fucked it up.
She snatches it from your hand and she goes and pulls it close and she says, "I don't know who you are. I mean, I do. You're Thomas and that's your grandmother Mabel and all of you are townspeople, but I don't trust you. I don't understand why you're doing this to us."
Can I cast Charm Person again on both Ball and his mother?
Yeah, sure, why not? They can roll, though. What do they get, wisdom?
Yes,
wisdom. She has disadvantage on wisdom. Actually, I should have been rolling concentration checks.
I was about to say, that's
take any damage,
true.
though,
yeah, okay, never mind. Let it go.
So, what, the mother rolls a 2.
Oh, that fails.
Yeah. Oh, don't. I keep doing that. Not enough D's in there. Throw some D's on it. Even though he's in hold person, he rolled a 14 against that.
He does succeed, unfortunately.
So, you don't charm Ball, but you have charmed his mother. She immediately holds the locket close and stands up and goes, "Yes?"
"I'm terribly sorry. This was a big misunderstanding. We honestly should have just asked you for the locket. We need it for reasons, and it's in order to keep you and your son together and happy and safe."
She goes, "But this is the only thing we have left of his father." And she like opens it and shows you the inside has what is probably a younger image of her sketched and an image of another human male. And she says, "This is all we have."
There's one on the floor.
I understand. What if I promised you that you would get it back as soon as we were done with it?
"Well, may I ask what you need it for? I'm more than happy to give it to you." And she kind of goes to hand it over.
We need it simply to make sure that you and your son are safe and happy. And once we are sure that you and your son are safe and happy, we will return it. I assure you.
And you see her kind of like look at you the way a confused dog would, and she tips her head with these very innocent eyes, and she says, "Okay." And you can hear Frozen Ball still attached around the Kiku inside of his like whole person, just like
Frozen Ball. Eh?
Frozen Ball, all those frozen balls,
In a deep freeze.
frozen baby balls.
You need to call your son and assure him that we are here to help.
And she goes,
I'll
"Yes,
drop
of
whole
course."
person.
And
I will take the
Ball, like,
locket.
flops to the ground, and he goes, "No, Mom, you don't understand. They're trying to take it. Why do they want the locket? Please, no, you can't trust them." And she goes, "Ball, son, come." And she kind of, he sobs into her, and she says, "It's okay. They're here to help, Ball. They're here to help." And she kind of picks him up, even though he's probably too large to be carried as an 8-year-old boy. And she still puts him on her hip, even though you can tell her back barely can hold his weight. And she says, "Come, let us go back to the festivities." And she begins to wander back towards the town. He is sobbing. No, Mom, please don't let him take him. Mom, please. And he like screams out as she drags him, you know, like a kid from the candy store, back into the center of town. And you all stand there for the first time really in silence, at the cusp of the woods and the town behind you. And you guys hear the of birds up in the tree.
That looks better than I thought.
Yep. Does anybody? Yeah.
Which is rare.
And as you guys kind of look around at the woods, back at the way you came, have this. The birds up in the tree are not like any birds you've ever seen. They are only human heads with these strange arms attached to them, human arms, but only about this much. And they sit perched on a branch. I shall show you an image they sit perched on the branch. Of course I have one.
I'm uncomfortable.
Wait, if you didn't.
All right.
I am very uncomfortable.
If you would like to be more uncomfortable, there is that for you.
Oh my God.
Wow. That is horrific.
That's horrible.
That's the worst thing you've shown us.
Yeah, okay, let me see if I can show everybody.
Strangely aroused.
Strange, and these two faces you actually recognize. Hang on, let me see if I can't get, the rest of the crew.
God.
Yeah, I was about to say, let me see if I can't get it to chat here. And they, these two, I don't know what to call them other than face birds, Twitter at you.
But
they
just pull out their phones.
It's like
yeah.
Twitter and Facebook.
They actually are the tweet. Yes, Seraphina.
Probably it's not gonna work because it's gonna have a very high DC. But again, since I've read so much, so on, I'm gonna try to remember if I see anything like it, anything at all like it.
Absolutely, you don't even have to roll for that. You've never seen anything like this. No animal, no creature. These look to be a mutated form of some kind. And if you look close enough, you can see where they have been mutated and actually sewn together to create this, as if created out of Bhaal's image here in this realm. But the faces seem familiar. One of them, both of them have pointy ears. They're relatively pale, and one of them has cornrows, the other very, very bald. And as they Twitter and tweet back to one another, one of them turns their head almost completely around like an owl would and looks at you and says, "Have you done it?"
I hold up the locket.
Yeah. The other bird turns its head all the way around and says, "Good," and drops its mouth way open, much farther than the jaws should. And the one next to it says, "Please, feed the bird."
I carefully and hesitantly feed the bird.
Yeah, you walk over and like drop this locket in its mouth, and it scoops it down, and she go, "Yes, yes." And you see the memory begins to like crumble and dissipate around all of you. The floor where it once stood, or the ground near the forest, turns into rock and stone. And before you know it, the memory has dissipated. And you guys stand in the middle of the room where you started this whole thing. The three of them looking at you. One of them holding the sword. One of them holding the locket. And the other woman that has nothing in her hands looking at you, and she says, "And next week, we shall remove Finbar's ego, for it is the only thing that is large enough to match Bhaal's." And that is where we end today's episode.
God. That's a huge.
So that is where we will end today's episode, with the threat of taking Finbar's ego.
No, I need that.
It's gonna be interesting.
I need that.
So bad.
Oh,
That's
so
amazing.
yeah.
Finbar the awkward
Wow.
lord.
Yeah, that's.
That was amazing.
That was really good. Really
I'm looking
good.
forward to next week.
Good. All right, gang. That's what I got.
Is this a bad time to say that I've got something just come up for next Thursday? It's like a scheduling thing. Some kind of
I got a ERP thing where I gotta go be a sexy D&D icon. I can't give you my ego.
Nah, that's what makes me me. Oh boy, well, my friends, that's where we're going to end tonight's session. If you enjoyed it, be sure to sign up to the Trials of Bhaal here and chat. !play will take you to the website where you can sign up. Looks like Moldoc is just continually spamming that link for some reason, but there you go. Of course, check out our sponsors as well for Fantasy Grounds and Wayland Games. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to hit the follow button and join us. But let's go around the cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Let's start with Chelsea. Great job tonight.
Thanks, man. Yeah, as always, it's a pleasure. I know we ended a smidge early, but it was just like that perfect spot. So yeah, I hope you guys tune in next week. I am Little Red Dot. You can find me online as Little Red Dot and pretty much all the places. I spend most of my time on Twitter and over on my Discord. If you go follow me on Twitter, you will see my Discord link right there, as well as my schedule of all the many places I play. I do a lot of RPG games. This week is particularly exciting because I'll be launching a beta test, in fact, on my own Twitch channel, which is under Little Red Dot, of the new Fate of Cthulhu, which is a Cthulhu build out for the Fate Core rulebook. It's very exciting. It's very different than any Cthulhu game I've played, and we launched the first of 2 mini campaigns this upcoming Friday with a pretty stellar cast, I have to say. So you can check that out. You can see all those postings. But yeah, follow me there, and you can see, like I said, all the places that I play. I try to keep my schedule up to date. So thanks, as always, for letting me come and wreak havoc and cause terror.
Thanks so much, Chelsea. Let's see here. Chris, same questions.
That was awesome. That was so much fun, and our plan worked for the first time, I think, ever. That was great. Yeah, thank you, Chelsea. That was awesome. I do loads of stuff. You can find me mainly on Twitter. I run a D&D website called Loot the Room with maps and treasure and stuff. And I've got some links in the chat. I do all sorts of things. Come check them out and say hello.
Great stuff. Thank you, Chris. And Aspire to Write.
Hi! Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Chelsea, and thank you for not killing Casey. My last DM that had her did, in fact, kill her in Chult with death curse and everything.
I was gonna say, why she's here, right? Yeah.
So much thank you. If you guys want to see more of me, check out Aspire to Write at Twitter. I am always on Twitter, always liking random stuff and talking about writing and random crap like D&D. I'm also, Sundays, most of the time you can find me over on Crumpler64's channel, playing a half-elf ranger named Tara in the Curse of Strahd. We're currently stuck in Barovia and trying to survive it. It's quite the ride.
Amazing stuff. Great stuff. Thanks so much, Spy. Genli,
I had an amazing time as always. I'd like to thank you, Chelsea and Will and everybody else from this channel. It's an amazing channel. It's my favorite, and it was amazing. And I have I'm not actually seeing the stream and not seeing the chat, but you are welcome to mispronounce my name, saying Janely AI or something like that. However, my name is Gainly I, and if you know where this name is from, and if you are a fair player, do not Google it. The first person who in chat says where this name is from will have my monthly Wild Sword Magic, all right? If you want to. So this is and you can find me every Monday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Archdevil Road 2 channel, and we are running a very experimental campaign. It is undersea. It's everything undersea. And cool. This Sunday I'm gonna on 2 p.m. Eastern, I think. I have a one shot on the Deep This channel. It's gonna be a homebrew Dark Sun adventure. And you can find me everywhere, every time in chats or discords and so on.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Genly and Dibs.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you guys for organizing this. Thank you, Little Dot, for running this. Like, Chelsea, you're amazing. It's great. Yeah, you can find me at my name, but it's just my personal Twitter. I don't really do anything special. I'm just here for the ride.
Hey, man, we'd love you here for that ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my friends, join us next week, Thursdays, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, for more of the Trials of Bhaal. Be sure to sign up and get playing as well. And keep an eye out over the weekend for a little bit of news regarding that as well. But I am going to see you guys in just a few minutes, chat to you for a minute. But we'll see you guys next week. Until then, try not to roll too many nat ones, because we're going to be here laughing when you do. Good night, everybody.
Oh.